Okay, so our topic, understanding amortization and its application. It's a nine, topic number nine. By mistake here it is written as nine, but it's eight, but it's actually nine. So let's start. What is the outline of this chapter, or what we're going to cover in this chapter? Calculating interest and principal component of a amortization, and then calculate the final payment. The bank wants early every penny, and then maybe the final payment is going to be more or less than the actual payments. As we know that in annuities the payments are equal, but rounding effect can cause the last payment a little bit more or less than the normal payments during the term of the contract. Amortization schedule, that how we can construct amortization schedule, and then special application, which is a mortgage, your biggest purchase of your life, like a house. What is amortization? Amortization is a process by which the principal of a loan is extinguished over the course of an agreed upon time period through a series of regular payments that go towards both the accruing interest and the principal reduction. So amortization is a process through which we make payments towards the loan in a way that at the end of the term the loan is paid off, as well as all the interest which is accruing during the period is also paid off. So all the payments, we borrowed money for us, or we invest money, and over a period that is going to be depleted to zero. We use the word amortization for all financial assets and all financial liabilities. When we try to pay off over a period of time, we use the word amortization. That's very similar to the depreciation, but in case of a depreciation, depreciation is only applicable to physical assets, the assets which really wear and tear. But financial assets are not wearing and tearing, but they are amortized over a period of time. Amortization term, the term on which this whole investment or the loan is going to be paid off, that's what we call it as an amortization term, is a length of a time for which the interest rate and payment agreements between the borrower and the lender will remain unchanged. And amortization period is the period is the length of a time it will take for the principal to be reduced to zero. Now the formula for calculating interest payment for the amortization is a balance of the loan, which is the principal outstanding balance of the loan, into 1 plus I exponential cy over py minus 1. And if we want to calculate the principal amount left, or what we are, so what is the PRN of this amortized amount? So PRN is equal to PMT minus INT. Now, what is PRN? That's a principal component of the amortized or annuity what we are paying, PMT minus INT, which is interest. So we calculated interest here. If we subtract this interest from the PMT, which is a regular payment, or a minus, that's going to be the adjusting toward the principal. Now these two examples going to help us to understand this idea more effectively. So the accountant at the accounting firm of Nicholas and Burnt needs to separate the interest and the principal on the 10th loan payment. So keep it in mind that we have to be careful when which payment we are talking about. The company borrowed 10,000 at 8% compounded quarterly with a month end payment for 2 years. So note that this is an ordinary general annuity. Calculating the principal portion PRN and the interest portion INT of the 10th payment on the 2-year loan. So it's a 2-year loan. On the 10th payment we are talking about. Now, one thing, make it again, I'm going to repeat it here, and I repeated many times before as well during this whole course videos, that there is a payment due and there is a payment ordinary, or annuity ordinary or annuity due. So annuity ordinary is the that in which we make payments at the end of the period, annuity period, which can be a month, which can be a quarter, which can be a year. But when we are making payment in the beginning of the period of the annuity, that is called annuity due. So we are in this question, it's an annuity ordinary. So now what we can do, we know that we have to figure it out the I, we have to figure it out the then we cy py, and then we apply the formula for calculating. So first, what we want to know, we want to know pmt, what is how much pmt, and out of pmt then we have to know that what is a interest, and then after interest we need to know the balance, and then after balance we need to know the interest and the principal components. It's a small understanding that we have to build up here, that how it works. So first of all, what we need to know, what we know and what we need to know. So it's a present value ordinary, which is 10,000, and IY is 8%, and CY is 4, right? CY is 4, and PY is 12, and years involved here is 2, and future value is going to be 0 because it's a loan, we have to pay it at a 0 future value. Now first of all, what we have to calculate I, which is IY 8 over CY 4% to 2%, right? It's a 2%. N is 12 into 2, so 24. The 2 years and 12 payments monthly. So what we have to calculate it, PMT with the present value 10,000, PMT is equal to, the formula for this is 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 0.02 exponential CY over PY, which is 4 over 12 into N, which is 24, divided by 1 plus 0.02 exponential 4 by 12 minus 1. So when you solve for PMT, we get it 452.03, right? That's our PMT. So first we need to know PMT, and then we see that how we can go further. So PMT we already calculated. Now we also know that what is the future value of this 10,000 after 9 months, right? Because we want to calculate on the 10th payment, so after 9 months. So future value of this 10,000 to 1 plus 0.02 exponential 3 quarters. 9 months means 3 quarters. So it's going to be 10,612.08. Now N is 12 into 9 over 12, 9 payments. So future value ordinary, if we want to calculate it, we need more. So what we need to know now, so this is future value with the loan amount, and we want to find out the future value with the PMT as well, like future value ordinary, which is PMT 452, sorry. 452.03 into 1 plus 0.024 by 12 exponential 9. Now because it's a quarterly, uh, no, it's a 9 months, so that's why we are applying 9 months and divided by 1 plus 0.02 into 4 by 12 minus 1. So that's going to be our 4177.72. So what is the balance? We get it 10,612.08 minus 4177.72. So by this way, the balance is 6,434.35. Now, what is this balance? This balance is that balance outstanding at the payment of ninth payment. Now we want to calculate 10th payment. So this is the balance. We're going to start with the formula. The formula is INT. The formula is balance, which is 6,434.35 into 1 plus 0.02 exponential 4 by 12 minus 1 equal to 42.61. Now interest is 42.61. So PRN principal is PMT, which is 452.03 minus 42.61. So that is going to be 409.42. Now once again, I am going to repeat what is the process. We have to find out the future value of the loan on the day where we want to calculate it, the principal on what a month or a payment period where we want to calculate the principal and the interest component of the payment. So first of all, we calculate the future value of the if the PMT is given, then otherwise you have to calculate first PMT, then we calculate the future value of the loan for that particular PMT, and then we calculate the future value of the PMTs, what we making payments, and the difference of these two future values is our balance, and that balance is going to be used in order to calculate interest, and then we use the formula like PRN is equal to PMT minus INT, which is interest rate. Now the second question, Baxter has 50,000 invested into 5-year annuity that earns 5% compounded quarterly and makes regular end of quarter payments to him for his payment. He made to know how much of the payment come from his principals and how much interest are earned on this investment. Now unfortunately I don't have I can add up. Baxter has a 50,000 investment into 5-year annuity that earns 5% compounded quarterly and make regular end of quarter payments to him for his fifth payment, like fifth payment. Here we discussed 10th. Here we are saying fifth. He needs to know how much of his payment come from his principal and how much interests are earned on his payment. So we want to find out the PRN and INT. Okay, so Baxter has an investment of 50,000. So what we have to find out? First, we have to find out the PMT. So what is given here? The given here is present value ORD, ordinary, which is $50,000, and then we have a IY, which is 5%, and if we want to find out CY is equal to 4 and PY is equal to 4, and the years are is equal to 5, and the future value is going to be 0. So we apply the formula like $50,000 is equal to PMT, and the formula is saying 1 minus 1 over 1 0.004, because if we find out I here, I, which is 5 divided by 4, so 1.0125 exponential 4 by 4, 4 by 4 py over cy. This whole term is going to be n, which is 20, 4 into 5 minus 1 plus 0.0125 exponential 0, 4 by 4 minus 1, and this, right? So if we solve it, we get it PMT is equal to 2841.02. So if we calculate now, what we want to calculate it, future value, which is the future value of 50,000 into 1 plus 0.0125, and here we have a 4 after fifth payment. We want to calculate fifth payment at the time of fifth payment, so 4s are already paid, so it's, we get it 52,547.26685. that is the value. Now what we have to do, we have to use this future value ordinary with the PMT value, right, which is 2841.02. Oh, what we calculated here, 02, yes, 02 into 1 plus 0.0125 exponential 4 by 4, and this whole term is going to be 4, so far what we paid, minus 1 over 1 plus 0.0125 exponential 4 by 4 minus 1, has set, and we get it here 11,578.94. So what is the balance? We can say that the balance is 52.547.26, what we get it here, 26685 minus 11,578.94, so we get it balance like 40,968.32916. And if we apply the formula A, I, and T, so what is balance, which is 4968.32916 into 1 plus 0.0125 exponent 4 by 4 minus 1. So when we apply, we get it 512.10 as an interest, and if we want to find out PRN, so that 2841.02 minus 512.10, so the balance is 2,328.92 we are paying as a principal. So calculating interest and principal component for a series of payment. If it is a series of payment, then PRN is balance of the period 1 minus balance of period 2. That's our PRN, a principal amount payment. Like if we find out the balance from the period 1 and balance for the period 2, the difference is definitely is going to be PRN. And INT is N into PMT minus PRN. So that's a way that if it is a series of implications. So the final payment, as I mentioned in the beginning, is going to be overpayment or can be underpayment. It's a slight decrease or slight increase and need to be reduced in an amount equal to the overpayment, and savings on the interest needs to be increased in amount equal to the underpayment and extra charges on the interest. So for example here, we are repeating the same example with the final payment. Like we want to calculate the final payment. So the final payment, in which Nicholas and Bernd borrowed 10,000 at 8% compounded quarterly with month-end payment of 452.03 for 2 years. The accountant now need to record the final payment on the loan with the correct portion assigned to principal and interest. Now, how we can do that? You know that the final payment will be of the payment of 24th. So we can figure it out the future value at the 23rd payment, and also the future value of 23rd payment, uh, and we can figure it out the difference, and that difference is going to be the principal or the interest payments of the final payment. So let's start with I is equal to 8% and divided by 4 because it's a quarterly, so we can say it's a 2%, and is equal to 4 into uh, now how many 23 years 23 months. Like 23 months is, we can write it 1 over 11 by 12, so it's going to be 7.6 compounded, 7.6 compounded on a quarterly basis. So because 8 quarters, but 7.6 quarters are there so far. So if we want to find out the future value of 10,000 loan on 23rd payment, so we can say it's 0.002 exponent 7.6, and we get it 11,639.50872. And we also find out future value ordinary with our PMTs, which is 452.03 exponent 1 plus 0.02, 4 by 12, 4 by 12, and 23 minus 1 over 1 plus 0.02 exponent 4 by 12 minus 1. So we get it like 11,190.3915. So the balance based on this is 11,639.50872 minus 11,190.39151. So if we apply this whole, we get it 449.117209. And when we want to find out the interest, INT, so 449.117209 into 1 plus 0.02 exponent 4 by 12 minus 1, which is dollar 2.974372. So this is the PMT. If we write it, final PMT is 49,449.117209 plus 2.9743, so we get it 452.09. So the final payment is 452.09 in place of 452.03. So that's a little bit higher, very nominal, but it is higher than the normal payments. Amortization schedule, like we want to construct the amortization schedule, and that amortization schedule is based on interest due, and we know that interest interest ordinary and interest due, because amortization schedule is normally constructed with the payment portion of a payment on any simple or a general annuity. So let's start to discuss these two questions from amortization schedule, and that's important that we have to learn that how we can make these amortization schedules. So Tamara purchased a new dishwasher from the Bay for 895.94. By placing it on her Bay credit card, she can pay off the dishwasher through a special 6 months payment plan promotion that charges her 5.9% compounded monthly. Construct the complete amortization schedule for Tamara and total her interest charges. So how we can do this? First of all, we want to find out the PMT, right? And then we can make a, excuse me. So what is the I here? I here is 5.9% divided by 12, so is going to be 0.419, no, 916. 916%. What is N? N is 12. N is 12 into 6.5, because 0.5 half year, so it's going to be 6 payments. PMT is the present value is 895.94 is equal to PMT, or I should write it there as, so I should have a space for making schedule. So 895.94 is equal to PMT multiplied by 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 0.04916 exponential 12 by 12. The whole is going to be 6 divided by 1 plus 0.004916, 12 by 12 minus 1, and this whole bracket is closed. So PMT, what we get is 151.90. That's now schedule. That's a payment number, like payment number. That's the first heading of our schedule. The second is payment amount. The third is interest portion, INT, and then PRN, and then we have a balance. Payments, we know that we started from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the payments are always 151.90, 151.9, no, sorry. Okay, at 0 point, no, there's no 0, there is no. So that's, and this is what, this is 151.0 9090, and this is for 151.90, 151.90, 151.90, 151.90. And we know that the balance is started with 895.90 at the zero time period. Now, if we plug in the formula, you remember the formula, balance into 1 plus I exponential cy over py, right, minus 1. So that's gonna, cy over py is 12. So if we apply the formula, we get it like here 4.41, and we get it here 147 minus this. So PMT minus INT, we get it PRN, which is 147.49, and we subtract this amount from the balance, we get it 748.45. So remember what we did, we calculate the interest payment through formula, and the formula is, if I write it here, which is I and T. We have to take balance into 1 plus I into cy over py minus 1 altogether. So this way we get this one, and we subtract this one from this payment, we get it this PRN, and we subtract the PRN from the balance to get this balance. So again, in this second payment, we apply the formula with this balance, and when we apply the formula, this formula with this balance, we get it like 3.68, and this is going to be 151.90 minus 3.68 is going to be 148.22, and 748.045 minus 148.22, so we get it 600.22. So similarly, we can apply the same with the 600 balance, so we get it 95, and this one is going to be 148 point yeah, 148.95. So 451.28, and then so keep it in track, this, and then we have a 2.22 with the same formula, and when this is going to be 149.68. So I'm putting the lines to make it clear that which one is relevant to which one. So is going to be 301.59, and we apply the same formula here, and we get it 1.48, and by this way 150.42 and 151.18. So because of the last, the balance is 151.18, it is not, so if we calculate it on this basis, like 151.18 instead of 190, so we get a PMT which is 192 here, and we get it 0.74 principal and 151.18, and by this way the balance is going to be 0. So this one is our question related to this, the first one, and the second one is about Messi. Messi just moved to Toronto to attend the University of Toronto. Shortly after she settled into her new apartment, her parents sent her an email on September 1st confirming that they had set up an investment annuity for $25,000 at 4.75% compounded semi-annually to assist her with the tuition fee and buying textbooks. The annuity will deposit the fund to her bank account annually starting today for 4 years, constructing a complete amortization schedule, and calculating the total interest earned. So what we have to do first, what is the present value due is 25,000. The IY given in this case is 4.75% and CY is 2. Now PY is equal to 1 and years is 4 and FY is equal to 0. Now what we have to figure it out, the PMT. First we have to figure it out the PMT. So how do we find out the PMT? This is 25,000 and PMT is equal to 1 minus 1 over 1.02375 exponential 2 by 1 whole term is going to be 4 divided by 1 plus 0.0, or you can write it like this, 0.02375 exponential 2 by 1 minus 1. So multiply by, because it's a due, multiply by 1 plus 0.02375 2 by 1. So PMT is going to be our value, which is equivalent to 6,696.74. Now we have to make a schedule. Payment number, PMT, interest INT, PRN, and BAL balance. So we started with the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The PMT we calculated is for this, not for the 0 period, but for the 6,696.74, 6,696.74, and the 6,696.74, and this is 6,000. The 6,696.7. We want to write it 6 because I will explain you how we write it. So in the first case, we take this balance of 25,000, plug into our formula. Plug into our formula, we will get it like interest due 25,000 minus that value into 1 plus 0.02375 exponential 2 by 1 minus 1, and we apply, we get it like interest is 79.73. Why we take this 25,000 minus 6,000? Because of initial payment. So they submitted 25,000, and initially on the first time they get it 6,600 in the first year, 1st of January, or whatever the day is, the first day of the year. So this is going to be related to this, and by this way the remaining PRN is 817.0. So keep it in mind here, it's a payment, we have to subtract it. So we subtract this to get our balance, and also like 19,182.99. So the based on the same formula with this balance we calculated, it's going to be 600.14, and the PRN is going to be 6090. 96.60, and the balance is going to be 13,086.39. Apply the same formula with this balance, so we get an interest of 11 and 6,389.63, and the balance is 6,696.73. So finally we are getting this. Here the interest is 0, because this is finally we are getting the payment which is left over, and the whole amount is. So as I mentioned that why it is 76 instead of 74, the reason is that the balance left is there. So we see here that how much interest we earned, 1,786.98 is the interest we earned, 98, and the payment is 25,000 principal adjustment, and this is going to be 0. So by this way we can get it like this, and the total payment is of 26,786, principal plus interest. So I hope you understand this whole idea of things clearly, and enjoy this. So by this way we finish this topic, and hope I cover all the things what we discussed so far. If you have further questions, you can contact me through email or write down below the comments. Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and watch the videos.